The second half of our doubleheader about to begin. Totino-Grace, the two-time defending state champions in Class 3A, take on the Bellevue West Thunderbirds at 3-1. Another high-powered, high-profile matchup. I'm Mike Peden, joined alongside by Jodi Rehlander. And Jodi, you had a chance to scout the teams a little bit last night. We know Totino-Grace, they bring a lot. What does Bellevue West have for us?
Bellevue West has a lot of height and a long tradition of winning. Last night, Thursday night, I should say, they lost for the first time in 14 games at home, and a 31-game win streak going back to last season was snapped with their loss to Millard North. But Millard North, being a top 5 Nebraska-ranked team, no shame in that game.
So Bellevue West at 3-2, Totino-Grace at 3-1. As they introduce the starters, players to watch for Bellevue West: Jaden Jackson, averaging 15 points per game. Robby Garcia, leading in rebounds at 7.3, or one of the leaders. Jacob Arup, who's coming off the bench, averaging 8.5 rebounds per game. And for Totino-Grace, Isaiah Johnson having a sensational start to the season. He had 31 points and 17 rebounds against Hopkins. And the only loss Totino-Grace has suffered so far came against the defending 4A state champions, the Wayzata Trojans, a buzzer-beater affair at last weekend's Tip-Off Classic. The Totino-Grace starters being introduced as we speak. Other players to watch for on the Totino-Grace side include Dothan, Ijadimbola, Chace Watley, and Tion Chapman. The starters for the two sides: for Bellevue West, it's Stephen Polacek, Eldon Turner, Jaden Jackson, Jaden Cascio Jensen, and Robby Garcia. Totino-Grace will start Dothan Ijadimbola, Tion Chapman, Isaiah Johnson, Tyler Wagner, and Chace Watley. And Jodi, it's fascinating to see the culture that is built up at Totino-Grace. Up until their back-to-back state tournament runs, they hadn't won a state title since 1972, so you have a 50-year drought, end it with back-to-back state titles, something they've never done, and they are the favorite to win a third straight in Class 3A, or one of them anyway, but Eld St. Margaret's up there as well. So I haven't seen this team before, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us.
Well, if it's anything like the girls' game we just finished, we're in for a treat. Run and gun, lots of defense. Can't wait.
And Totino-Grace not afraid to put up big numbers.
Bellevue West gets a tip-off.
Totino-Grace coming off a 90-43 win over Coon Rapids. The fewest points they have scored this season, Jodi, 79. In the season opener, a 79-75 win over Hopkins. So this Totino-Grace team can pile up points. They get the steal here. That's Chapman. They had a big crowd on hand for that Wayzata game last week. Pulling up for two. Swish. Chapman using the three-point shot as a fake. And he's on the board.
Good movement by Bellevue West.
Again, Johnson will be the top scorer to watch, but they have other playmakers who can step up. Bellevue West throws it away.
Aggressive little defensive maneuver to knock that ball away, and then Bellevue West couldn't hang on to it to keep the possession.
Steve Klein Jr., the head coach of Bellevue West. Nick Carroll, the head coach of Totino-Grace. Dribble drive, kick out, touch three. Doesn't quite drop for Tyler Wagner.
Pushing it up the court. Jump ball, jump ball.
No, a foul.
Oh, a foul.
Jaden Jackson, I think he was grabbed by the arm, and that's what led to the foul.
Looked all ball to me, but the ref's definitely closer than we are.
Initially, I thought so as well, but I saw the official signaling to the arm might have grabbed a piece of that as well. So this is Jaden Jackson, the senior, averaging 15 points per game. .15 points, 4.3 rebounds.
Good for 2.
And Steve Klein taking over from his predecessor. It was his predecessor that reached out and made this doubleheader possible. There is a strong dribble drive by Isaiah Johnson. He had a couple of defenders on top of him. It didn't faze him one bit.
He found that seam in the zone defense, just got there before they could collapse around him.
Long skip, 3-ball, corner pocket. Jaden Cascio Jensen.
Dramatic cross-court pass followed by a drained 3. Excellent play.
Totino-Grace answers on the other end. No, I thought they did score. That was Ijadimbola.
Yes.
Robby Garcia staying with it.
3 of his own offensive rebounds.
Spin move and the finish.
Nice little kiss
by
off
Watley.
the glass.
Bellevue West, a 3 in transition. Goes off the back iron. Rebound collected by Tyler Wagner. The tempo is at a blistering pace so far, Jodi.
Definitely nothing tentative about Bellevue West.
Both teams exchange missed layups. It's 8-7, Totino-Grace with a 1-point lead. Launching the 3 and drilling it. Dothan and Ijadimbola. His first triple. On the other end, Bellevue West says right back at you. Robby Garcia lands his first triple.
Garcia clearly out to a fast start.
11-10. Just 3.5 minutes into this game. Totino-Grace with the 1-point lead. Again, your 2-time defending 3A state champions. That 3 from the wing bounces out. And the rebound collected by Jackson. Another 3. Skying up for the O-board is Eldon Turner. Tries the long skip again. It's intercepted by Johnson. Official stopping play to reset the shot clock. We've had a few of those moments.
I thought for a moment there he was talking about number 32, Garcia.
No, I heard the officials say reset to 32. I didn't. You would have seen the 3-2 symbol go up had that been a foul. Ijadimbola throws it away.
The Bellevue West coach is clearly going to be a factor in this game. He's very engaged. He's very animated. Called out Mayday as the shot clock hit 10 seconds for Totino-Grace just now.
Totino-Grace, by virtue of their conference, Park Center, a team to watch as well.
Nice little one touch into the paint for Jacob Arop.
He leads the team in rebounds, but he picks up a layup there. Here's a 3 from the corner, and it's there for Chapman.
If the pace of three-point shooting continues in this game, it's going to be a wild afternoon.
Well, we know Totino-Grace can rack up points. They're not afraid. And looking at Bellevue West, 3 times this season, they've reached the couple of times, I should say, they've reached the 80-point mark. So for Totino-Grace, again, didn't have a whole lot of time to prep like we normally would because it's the back end of a doubleheader, but I feel like the biggest key is can Totino-Grace turn this into a track meet and run up the score like they have in all their other games.
Nifty little move.
And all 5 starters have now scored for Totino-Grace. Tyler Wagner's on the board.
And sometimes you don't know what shot you're going to put up until you're in the air, and that looked like the case for Tyler Wagner. Fast break again for Wagner.
The lob to Johnson.
Can't
Wagner
convert it, but a rebound.
retrieves. Johnson kicks it out. Another 3 from the corner. A tad short.
Yeah.
I feel for that woman who's down there. I don't know if she's getting footage for her social media, if she's with overtime maybe.
No, but
I noticed she was there in the girls' game. She might be the photographer, but still, that's a gutsy place to be.
especially if you're trying to be on a phone and you're not always looking up at the action.
And this is a small gym, as you have seen over the years. We've been here a couple of times in our coverage. It is not a forgiving gym. No real space along the baseline. Bellevue West trying to work the baseline, and Totino-Grace snatched it, but yes.
Can clearly see that both teams looking to be up-tempo, push the ball. Lots of fast break here for Totino-Grace, and a finish.
Johnson with the flush. 18-12, Eagles over Thunderbirds. Mid-range shot, bounces over the rim.
He stepped out.
Yes.
Yep. Nice strong rebound by Bellevue West. He just stepped out when he made his move to go back to the basket.
I'm looking at the Totino-Grace schedule. Not only do they have Park Center in their conference, they will take on Benilde St. Margaret's January 6th. That will be a huge boys game as Bellevue West pokes the ball away, and sprinting to the rim
Nice
is
little
Jaden
backdoor
Jackson.
steal.
Jackson makes it a 4-point game, and he's got 4.
The big man getting a poke in on the steal.
Chapman moves in.
With one.
Count it. Big man got the poke, but Tion Chapman, the 6'4" sophomore, didn't flinch in the slightest. And Chapman, go ahead.
It's interesting to see the difference between the two games we're doing this afternoon. The first one, the first 6 minutes were really tentative and teams just kind of filling each other out. With this game, both these teams have just gone right at each other from the get-go. We've seen several NBA-length threes already, a dunk, move to the basket. It's a good day for basketball.
I go back to a point the late John Madden would sometimes say about big games. One way to shake off nervousness, just go for the big play right away.
Sure.
And I think that's what both teams are doing. 3 from the key, comes up short. Offensive rebound by Eldon Turner. He'll back off. Another 3 is coming. Long. Another offensive rebound. Bellevue West getting a couple of those, but Eldon Turner was pickpocketed from behind. Josiah Young picking it up. Now it's Watley. Oh boy, lots of contact.
Nice rebounding technique there to get position. Can't get the long 3 to go.
That was Isaiah McMorris on the three-point attempt.
And we're running again.
We are running. Watley runs his way to the rim for 2. Timeout. Bellevue West, Totino-Grace up 23-14 with 10:06 left in the first half. And Jodi, I think for Totino-Grace, yes, this is a team they don't face often, but they're not backing away from their identity compared to the girls' game, like you said, where things were a little more tentative. Totino-Grace, they know they've got the athletes to go, go, go.
Absolutely, and you can see on the back of the warm-up jerseys for Bellevue West, it says "Per Augusta ad Augusta," which translates to triumph, through trial to triumph. So hopefully Bellevue West can overcome this early trial and maybe come up with a triumph from this game, but it's going to be a challenge.
Well, much like our last game, there's no seeding or rankings to worry about because Bellevue, they come from Nebraska, about 5.5 hours away. And if you didn't watch our girls' game, some players come from military backgrounds. Bellevue West, Bellevue in general, I should say, home of the Strategic Air Command Base. But like the girls' game, you're not worried about how this will reflect on your seeding. What this will do is help prepare you for that deep run.
Yeah, we're at a solid DEFCON 5 today.
And Totino-Grace, again, they get Park Center twice. That Benilde St. Margaret's game, that's going to be a big one. They go on the road to play Minnetonka, so Totino-Grace, they know they are a contender and not afraid to take on a risk like that. I always appreciate teams that do that. That Benilde St. Margaret's game could be a huge one. That could potentially decide state tournament seeding.
Oh, nice.
Long pass
getting in
stolen.
the lane, getting in the lane. And
Quick
another
set.
3.
Eldon Turner with the 3. Jaden Jackson set things in motion with the interception. 23-17. Turnaround doesn't go in for Ijadimbola. Bellevue West had a little bit of trouble recovering it, but Polacek able to bring it up. Another touch 3. And it rolls in. Eldon Turner with back-to-back triples.
If those 3s start falling for Bellevue West, Totino-Grace is going to have their hands full.
Young over to number 24. That's Will Brands.
This might be the longest either team has held the ball so far in this game.
15 on the shot clock. You're right. Going in for the reverse was Watley, but he couldn't get enough on it. Bellevue West, their ability to move down the floor. Totino-Grace, too, in quick form, simply amazes me.
Very fluid as well.
Long 2, and bringing it home is Ijadimbola. 25-20. Drawing contact, but coming up short on the fadeaway was Polacek. Ijadimbola. Used up the dribble near the high post. And getting fouled is Josiah Young. He'll shoot 2.
I got to give a shout out for Kona Fern, who at 5'11" took that shot in the middle of the lane amongst some pretty big trees for Totino-Grace on Bellevue West last possession.
A lot of height in this lineup, especially on the Totino-Grace side, as Young knocks down the front end. Young on the season, averaging 5.7 a game. And it will be a split for him. Turner slings it. Jacob Arup is out there again. Now Turner's got it. Side fade.
Oh.
And a clean takeaway by Ijadimbola. Warp speed to the bucket, but he can't finish.
And here comes Bellevue West.
They've got numbers. They'll fire a transition three. Cannot hit, but the rebound is tipped back, and Arup will get the drop. Jacob Arup with 4 points. Whoa. 3-on-1.
Oh, nifty pass.
And McMorris tried to draw the foul leading into the contact. He didn't get it, but he does get the layup.
Letting him play today. I like it.
Ijadimbola, the fadeaway, short. Bellevue West can tie or take the lead. They trailed by 9 not too long ago. NBA three off the back iron. Arup comes up with it again. He'll shoot 2.
But he'll shoot 2.
Well, Arup, remember, he has some pretty big games on the boards. Jacob Arup, the 6'7 senior, had 15 rebounds against Lincoln North.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things when the big guys can move and get up and down the court, and Arup clearly has a lot of hustle. Missed the front end of that one-on-one, but let's see if he can finish it.
Not a ton of attempts yet for Arup at the free throw line. But I know anytime a big guy goes there, you're always wondering how that will turn out. In the old days, well, Shaquille O'Neal, the most infamous example, it was almost like a lottery pick. These days, more post players have worked on their shooting touch.
I always thought Shaquille O'Neal would have had a better chance just winging the ball at the backboard and getting the rebound to try to put in the actual basket, but that's just me.
And I think it's worth reminding folks, at the time, post players weren't necessarily thought of as touch shooters, distance shooters. They were always your bruisers. So usually not great free throw shooters, but that is changing. Baseline drive for Malachi Hill. Comes up short. Rising up for the swat is Isaiah Johnson.
Wow, Johnson got up.
He got up. No step ladder needed for him. He's got the vertical to take care of it. Count it for Tyler Wagner.
That was an example of great basketball on both sides. The defender, number 5, Kona Fern, absolutely working his tail off to keep up with Wagner, and then Wagner just finished it for the hoop and the hurt.
Wagner averaging 6 points per game. Completes the three-point play. Totino-Grace with a slight edge, 29-24. Again, just a friendly, but another entry in a grueling schedule for Totino-Grace. A team that has set the standard in Class 3A. Bellevue West lands another 3. That's the 3rd for Eldon Turner.
You get the feeling that Bellevue West will take that 3 whenever and whenever possible.
Turner's got 3 in a row, and that can go a long way. Again, Wagner scores on the take and has a chance for 3.
Bellevue West a little late coming over to defend against that drive and then smacking in the hand as he went by on the shot.
Back-to-back three-point plays for Tyler Wagner. He's got 8. That's McMorris out at the corner. Offensive foul.
Yep.
You could tell Jaden Jackson got a little caught up and made contact. That's the last foul to give for the Thunderbirds of Bellevue West.
Unforced error by Totino-Grace there. We'll see if Bellevue West can make it into points.
You don't see that often from a team like Totino-Grace that's won 2 state titles in a row and came oh so close to knocking off Wayzata last weekend at the Tip-Off Classic. Nearly would have been a quote-unquote small school sweep. Wayzata was the only 4A matchup
Yeah, it just looked like Watley took his eyes off it, and it was moving fast enough to carry him off his hand.
I was going to say Wayzata was the only 4A school to win in the cross-class matchups last week at the Tip-Off Classic, which tells you how talented groups like Totino-Grace are.
That's a great name for a tournament.
3 from the right wing. Jaden Jackson can't put it in.
Four and a half minutes left.
Handoff to Malachi Hill, got through him. Ball is loose. Recovered. And the shot clock reset to 20. Isaiah Johnson. That was deep. I don't see players going that far back often, even at the boys level. What a speedy take for Eldon Turner. And I mean speedy. That was a freight train moving in. Turner averaging 11.3 points, 4.3 rebounds per game. He'll shoot 2 here.
And one thing I'll say about the Bellevue West team is they are electric. They are fast, they are bouncy, keeping up with Totino-Grace on the court, if not on the scoreboard right now.
Bouncy sounds about right. And Eldon Turner, I can't say bounced in a couple of free throws, but he did float them in, and it's a one-possession game. Kind of playing out the same way the girls' game is, with a tight margin. Chace Watley steps into the 3 and connects.
So far, Totino-Grace has had an answer every time Bellevue West tries to make a move.
Turner. Bounce pass. Hezzy, and the finish for Jaden Jackson.
Such good body control under the basket with all those bodies.
That can go a long way. This is Watley. Spin move. And a nifty reverse. Watley going on the spin cycle, extra rinse. On the other end, bounce pass, 3 ball, corner pocket. Jaden Jackson buries his first 3-pointer. If you like high-flying action, we've got plenty of it here. Another 3. This time it's Watley. Airballs it. Totino-Grace swarming the baseline.
Yep.
Jackson wants to move in.
Ooh, had a shot there for...
So did Eldon Turner.
That's his third.
He sinks his 4th.
Eldon Turner from downtown.
Hey, if you don't find a shot, go to somebody who does. Ijadimbola with the handoff. Totino-Grace looking for the answer. And arrow.
Oh, nice little flip pass.
Right, that was just a casual flip. Look out, bullseye.
And Bellevue West is in the lead.
The 3s are falling for Bellevue West.
And you get the sense from the fan base here from Bellevue West, this is a pretty typical This is a pretty typical way for Bellevue West to suddenly just start rolling.
Totino-Grace calling a timeout, and Nick Carroll asking for some kind of explanation from the officials. 1:41 left in the first half. Jodi, it looks like, we'll see what the second half brings, but the ultimate strategy, we were talking about Totino-Grace and their penchant for piling on points. This may be a case of whoever can outscore the other.
I feel like it's gonna be a game of catch up all day. One team's just gonna be chasing the other all the time, And that lead's going to go back and forth now that we're within 3 points of each other.
I know in football it doesn't quite work out that way in terms of back and forth exchanges, but when you're in a shootout, I'm guessing you've been in your share of those, what goes through your mind as an athlete when you're engaged in that kind of battle where it seems like nothing can stop the offense?
Well, it's about making sure that on defense you get in the passing lanes, you get good looks at where the offense is, so that you don't let somebody get all alone in the corner for a free shot. The other part on offense is you got to take quality shots, because you know that if you keep missing, eventually the other team's going to start converting and you're going to get behind real fast.
141, and we still have another half to play. Totino-Grace spreading it around. 3 players have 8 points, and Ijadimbola has 7. Turner and Jackson providing most of the offense for Bellevue West. Aroff couldn't handle it.
Nice thought on that give and go.
Totino-Grace, offensive foul. The push by Chapman.
So he's taking and he's giving one.
Bragging rights as quality win, that's all at stake here. Getting a look at a couple of top programs in Minnesota and Nebraska. Missing the mid-range J. They're up with a couple of cracks. 1 minute to go. This is Josiah Young. He finds Ijadimbola. Arope blocks him. Here's a 3 from the corner. Arope really muscling his way in there.
And there's a foul.
Yeah, almost a double whammy, because you're going to give free throws. Well, you stop the field goal, but you pick up a foul in the process.
Just, again, really impressed by the speed of these teams and the way that they are cleanly fighting for every little pass and basket so far.
Chapman knocks down the front end. And the back end, he goes up to 10. 40-39. Someone almost lost a phone. Bellevue West, they sling it to the corner. Another 3. Steven Polachek's on the board.
You get the chance they've done that a time or two.
Ijadimbola. Now Will Brands. Totino can hold for one more shot if they wish. Polachek saying, hey, it was off Totino.
You gotta try. You gotta try.
Got the deflection, but yes, not quite off of Totino-Grace. He still has 15.6 to knock one more in. Johnson.
Pull it away.
McMorris stripped it from him.
And
a buzzer-beating layup.
Go.
It wasn't so much a throwaway, Jodi. McMorris just took it away from him, got his hand in the cookie jar, and Eldon Turner getting his hand in for 2 more. 45-39, Bellevue West over Totino-Grace. What a finish for the Thunderbirds, or should I say fabulous Thunderbirds.
Fabulous they are. We'll see what the second half brings us.
We will indeed. If it's anything like the first half, a whole lot of highlights and a whole lot of ebb and flow coming your way. This is high school boys basketball. Bellevue West leads Totino-Grace 45-39. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSP Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSP Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Peden and Jodi Rehlander back with you in a game that has no shortage of electricity. Bellevue West and Totino-Grace here at Totino-Grace in Fridley. Bellevue West leading 45-39. The first half numbers go something like this. Eldon Turner leading Bellevue West with 16 points, 4 3-pointers. Jaden Jackson has a couple of trays, and he has 12. For Totino-Grace, Tian Chapman leads with 10 points. Wagner and Watley have 8. Ijadimbola has 7. Jodi, can Bellevue West sustain their three-point sharpshooting? I think that's going to be the biggest key in the second half.
Well, in the pace, too, Mike. If you look at the last 5 minutes of that first half, Bellevue West was flying up and down the court. But then if you look at the first 5-6 minutes of the game, Totino-Grace had it well under control. So it's anybody's game in the second half.
Part of a daunting schedule for Totino-Grace, but again, they have held their own and then some, only losing to Wayzata on a buzzer beater at the Tip-Off Classic. You can't get any closer. And they still have Benilde St. Margaret's. They will take on Alaska at the border battle that Benilde St. Margaret's is hosting later this season. Totino-Grace, they are a top ticket. And you're seeing why in a class that, as we get a mid-range J, swooping up. That wasn't a swoop, that was a big leap, and Ijadimbola gets the finish.
Ijadimbola with a nice kiss off the glass to finish that. 2 offensive rebounds.
Another 3. Turner trying to follow up that brilliant first half. The shot clock didn't reset. There we go. Well, it reset to 35. That's not right. It's going to be Totino-Grace ball, so it won't matter. The shot clock reset to 35, and I don't think Totino had possession of it.
Right. But like 8 different people touched it in 2 seconds there.
So maybe, like I said, I'm still sorting out all the details with the shot clock and how the resets work.
Right.
When they decided to mirror the college game, it adds a little bit. Here's a 3. Dothan can't knock it down. Moving in for the slam. Well, or so he thought. Isaiah Johnson says, get out of here. Dothan out to Wagner for 3. Got it.
Wagner quietly putting together a very nice performance today.
He's got 11 to lead the Eagles of Totino-Grace. The boys and girls had that sweep in 2022. They wouldn't mind another one. And we'll try this again. You look at some of the games, Jodi, and the fan of me is like, hey, there's some other good ones that I might want to check out. That game with Benilde St. Margaret's, that's a big one. Minnetonka, one of the top teams in Class 4A to look out for. What a set!
Wow.
What a finish!
You think they're going to shoot it, and then nope, they pass it, and then nope, they pass it, and then finally they get a 3-point play. That's amazing.
I know they say you can move the ball more quickly by passing than dribbling. I think that took that example to a whole new extreme. Forget level, that was in a different stratosphere.
We're playing Star Trek chess.
Three-dimensional chess.
Three-dimensional chess today.
3D chess. No 3-point play, though, for Garcia, so he'll have to wait for that checkmate. Cross-court skip. Touch three for Wagner. Not that time. Johnson will give it a try. Swish.
Tie game.
47 all. Clutching up and laying it in. Robby Garcia.
Garcia just willed that ball into the basket that time. Great baseline move.
That was a tough shot, but a great decision on his part and a lot of fearlessness, as you pointed out. Handoff. Chapman skies up, but can't lob it in. And a foul. I was curious if that was going to be in the act of shooting, and it is.
Yes.
So free throws for Chace Watley, who's averaging 11.8. Some of the other numbers haven't been posted from last night's game with Coon Rapids, but Johnson is averaging a double-double. Wanted to get that in there in the early part of the season. But overall, Jodi, what I've gathered from this Totino-Grace team, that starting five, anyone can contribute, anyone can step up, and I think that's why they are one of the favorites to win Class 3A again.
And they're a very cohesive unit, right? You can tell they clearly know where they're going to be away from the ball, and they know where that extra pass will go if it's needed.
Turner out to Garcia for three. Air up, blocked by Johnson. Johnson took a shot to the face.
Another one.
Arob gets the layup to go, but Johnson took an inadvertent hit to the face after the block initially on Arob.
Sometimes it's surprising how much velocity that ball or an elbow can come up and down when you're trying to make those power moves to the basket. Looks like Johnson's okay, but that was quite a hit he took.
He'll check out for now. Will Brands will take his place.
Yep. The trainer over there right away. Good.
And from what I've seen, Johnson not a theatrical kind of guy. So when he went down and I saw him grimacing, I figured something was up.
Oh.
Whoever that woman is, she's fearless. I saw she switched sides. I'm guessing she's a highlight person.
Right.
Maybe for overtime
But
or...
appears to be a ball magnet.
Yeah. Well, anytime you have a gym that has virtually no space along the baseline, here's Wagner, who spaces up a three and sends it home. I know, I would tremble at the thought of having to go down there. I would probably just hang out in the corner like Sam is doing.
Right.
52-51, Totino-Grace up. Player goes down. Garcia makes a move inside and in.
Nice patience on Garcia. Really impressed by his play today.
We haven't seen too many takes from the baseline to the rim, but Garcia pulled it off beautifully. Watley, the step through and the finish.
Oh, nice fluid move to the basket.
Drawing the foul, Eldon Turner. He tried to straddle the baseline and Dothan bumped him.
Again, physical game today, but in a good way.
Right, physical, but not a lot of malice. We're not seeing any sort of jawing or extracurricular stuff.
Right.
I don't think you win 2 state titles in a row without some level of discipline, and Totino-Grace certainly not lacking there. Jackson looking for air up, another foul. This one on Watley.
Just Watley's first foul.
Inbound, Hezi didn't like what he saw, so Polacek took a circuitous path back to the rim. I believe it's a foul on Totino-Grace as Arrow hit the deck.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That was just demonstrated to us.
And he's 6'7", so I mean, if he goes down, it's almost like Shaq running into the Christmas tree last year.
Gravity works. It's the law.
Inbound three is there for Jaden Jackson. We've seen them line up a lot of touch threes, Jodi.
Absolutely, and they're good at it.
They're back up by 2, 56-54. Johnson back in the game after a short respite. He launches the three. Bullseye. And a timeout. I don't mind it, though. It gives us a chance to collect ourselves.
Right. It's been another crazy, crazy half, and I don't see it ending anytime soon. 1 point game here, 7 minutes into the half.
I believe Totino called that timeout.
I'm not sure if it was Totino or the ref made the ref made the my time signal in football, but I'm not sure if that's true also in basketball.
I don't think an official can call a timeout of that nature. They can stop play.
Right.
But, you know, you have to credit the resilience of Totino-Grace when it looked like Bellevue West had a little momentum on their side. They're back in it. This is very much the game we expected.
Yes, yes. And again, kudos to Bellevue West for coming in and taking it to Totino-Grace right out of the gate. This game has not disappointed in any way.
So it's 57-56 with over 13 minutes to go. Much like the girls' game, this one has been tight, electric, and a whole lot of fun. McMorris didn't see an opening. Polacek. Garcia's got it. Trying to muscle his way inside the baseline, and he coughs it up.
Yes. That was the correct call. It did come off of Garcia's foot as he lost a little control there on the baseline.
You won't get an argument from me. Watley to Wagner. He fires a three. Short. Jackson using his vertical, and another foul on Watley. That will be his second.
Yeah. Now, Watley sort of questioned whether that should have been a foul, but it was the second effort he made that caused him to crash into the dribbler. He was fine until that point.
Yeah, you can't crash into people. That doesn't really work out. Garcia looking for a seam. Now they go to Polacek. Jackson for three. Yes! Jackson's got 4 3-pointers now.
Man, Jackson and Turner from the corner, they are automatic if they get that look. Oh, nice
High low. Late foul, but I did see some contact there as Chapman hit the floor. That's just the first time McMorris, but Chapman will shoot 2. He's got 10 points in this one, averaging 10.8 this season. At least one fan expressing his view. Depending on which side you're rooting for, you might agree with him.
I will say it was a late foul call, and I think it was that there was ball, and then there was a foul.
You know what? I don't mind. It's okay to have some amusing moments like that.
Absolutely.
I've done some games here. Oh, there's an elbow.
And a jump
ball.
Bellevue West will keep it.
I was going to say, I did a game here a couple years ago where a fan got a little too rowdy and was escorted out. So you don't want to see it reach that point, but I don't mind a little gamesmanship. Yeah, a little bit of fun like that.
A little back and forth is never a bad thing. Yep.
This is one of those fun what-if kind of games, as I've mentioned before. You won't play each other. These two won't in state. 8 to shoot for Bellevue West. Offensive foul, illegal screen on Cascio Jensen. This isn't going to determine who gets the 1 seed in the section or state, but this is one of those fun what-ifs. What if you could get to play a top team from Nebraska? What if you had this kind of a matchup? That's what this game is all about.
And so nice in the early season like this, too. It's to really get a sense of where you are on either side.
Elbow J, and Bellevue West ultimately gets it. McMorris up to 4 points.
And a steal.
That was Turner who stole the inbound. A 3 on the way. It's there. And air up. Fist bumping, or I should say chest bumping Polacek. I don't know if I'd want to be on the receiving end of that.
If I was on the receiving end of that, I'd be on the floor.
I feel that's what would happen if I tried to chest bump you. You would send me to the floor.
Depends on how excited I was when I delivered it, I guess.
Well, Bellevue West has plenty of reason for excitement right now. They lead 64-58, 10:54 left in the second half. Polacek with a couple of threes, and Jodi, that three-point stroke, still serving up bombs for the Thunderbirds out of Bellevue West.
And nothing against Totino-Grace. They're absolutely in this ballgame, but you get the sense they don't have an answer for the wild ability of Bellevue West to throw it up from anywhere and everywhere and have it land.
We haven't seen Totino-Grace rely on that three as much.
Right. They're getting good looks at the basket. They're getting good drives. Just not as many.
Of course, the last time Bellevue West got a little bit of separation, Totino-Grace fought back quickly, so we'll see. You saw the 5 count, and there's a steal. Garcia will take it in himself. He had Polacek available as well, and this is the largest lead of the game for either team.
And again, you love the Bellevue West coach. Excited about his team. There's a foul. The Bellevue West coach on that last drive, excited about his team, and then as soon as they scored that transition layup, yelling, back, 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 to get them back on defense.
Get back on defense, that's right. You can't get too excited for too long.
Right. Can't forget to play both halves of the court.
And free throws coming for Eldon Turner.
One of the few misses for him today.
Well, you know why? It was at the free throw line.
Right.
If they took free throws from the three-point line, he'd be money. I blame the free throw line.
Right.
That's not his range.
Too close.
It's too close. Right. Just like that peddler character from Aladdin. Please come closer. Too close. A little too close. That's where the free throw line is for him. But he does get one of two. The peddler character, by the way, played by Robby Williams in a secret cameo.
Oh, goodness.
No secret there. McMorris with another steal. He finds Jackson in stride. Bellevue West up by 11. Totino-Grace in a jam here. It's not just the three-point shooting, Jodi, but the defensive attacking.
Correct. Totino needs to convert.
Contested layup there.
Yes.
Totino-Grace ball. It's one thing to knock down threes, but it's the defensive opportunities that Bellevue West is cashing in on that is helping them as well. Because when your threes go down, you're going to look great, of course, but I think it's important that Bellevue West is finding other ways to step in just in case that doesn't happen.
The last 3 possessions of Totino, I believe, have ended in defensive steals.
Johnson fakes the 3, flips it. Wagner doesn't have the space. Still plenty of time to shoot. Long 2. Dropping it is Ijadimbola. There's always a part of me that cringes a bit, but they go in. That's what counts. Whoa. Because what do we have here? Oh, it was deflected.
Yes.
I was going to say, those long 2s drive me a little crazy because you take one step back, you get an extra point. But I digress.
I think Totino
fade away.
Right now.
I would surmise as much. They do get a stop, though, and a chance to cut into this margin. And they certainly have the athletes to do it. Chapman off balance. That didn't work out. Turner for 3.
Jump 3. My goodness.
Totino-Grace, the outlet. Not quite clean enough. Chapman goes baseline. Tip to Ijadimbola. Totino-Grace, they're not making it look easy. Here comes the step through. Well, that looked easy. It took an awful lot to get there. An outlet pass that required a couple of saves, but like you said, Totino-Grace, they'll take points any way they can get them.
And a steal for Totino-Grace.
That's Johnson. The coast-to-coast finish.
5-point game again. Holy cow. Tangle up there on the inbounds pass.
And that is a foul on Totino-Grace. They're out of fouls to give. So Bellevue West will go to the line the rest of the way. 7:49 on the clock.
Eldon Turner at the line. See if he can convert on these.
He split his last time up. And we jokingly suggested it was because his range was too short, and he bricks there.
Yep.
He's got to see if he can, I think you can take a step back. That's what he should do.
Right.
I think you can't step in front of the
Right.
line. I think you can step behind it maybe.
You have until the top of the key. Yep.
Totino-Grace looking for the
good
3. They don't
offensive
find
rebounds.
it.
Wow.
Wagner. Got it.
Clutch 3 from Wagner.
Wagner's got 17. 2-point game, 69-67. 7:15 to go. McMorris into a sea of Navy. Free
And
throws
a foul.
coming.
Number 30, Isaiah Garcia at the line, shoot 2.
Garcia doing well in this second half. Averaging 12.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, so one of the focal points of this Bellevue West Thunderbird squad.
Built like a football linebacker as well.
Wouldn't surprise me if there's some multi-sport crossovers. He makes both free throws.
4-point game, 7 minutes left.
Garcia with 15. Johnson throws it away on the errant pass.
Another.
McMorris wants the 3. Just grazes the iron, but Garcia.
Right there underneath the basket to put it back.
Garcia with the save and the put-back layup. 6-point game. Bellevue West with another advantage. Johnson, a deep 3. Rebound, Young.
Oh,
but
boy.
not clean enough. Jackson finds Garcia. Johnson blocks him. Garcia has it again.
And this time goes up with a nice touch.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, or in the case of Garcia, best served with a layup.
Totino is playing really well. Bellevue West is just making the better play.
Jump ball, Totino-Grace with the arrow. 5:52 to go. Still plenty of time for Totino-Grace, especially with the shot clock. Again, Nebraska, they've had it in place for a couple of years. It's the first year Minnesota has implemented a statewide clock.
You almost have to root for the hometown team, right, Mike? But this Bellevue West team is something special. You can tell.
Well, remember, going back to the girls' game, something their coach brought up, Nebraska plays quarters. We're going to enter that final 4 minutes soon. Totino-Grace doesn't see the clock. Jodi, we're going to see plenty of examples of this late in the shot clock. You got to pay attention. And we saw this more from the girls' game. I didn't hear from the boys. Some benches will count down if it gets low. I didn't hear that from Totino-Grace. Here's a three for Garcia. Yes! Back up by 11 is Bellevue West. But as I was going to say, we're entering that final 4 minutes soon. A final 4 minutes that Bellevue West normally doesn't play. Push foul on the Thunderbirds. They had plenty to give. So it will be interesting to see what happens in those final 4 minutes that Minnesota players are accustomed to.
I gotta say, Bellevue West looks pretty fresh.
Right, they look fresh right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they'll drop off, but they got to sweat out another 4 minutes. Had this been in Nebraska, they would have sealed the win by now. Johnson pulls up, got it. Johnson has 14. Garcia, by the way, up to 22 points. Jackson has 20. Turner with 17.
Yeah, Garcia had a little quiet period there, but he's really come on these past 3 or 4 minutes.
He had a quiet first half, just 5 points. He's got 17 in this frame. Bounce pass, 3 from the corner, off the back iron. Rebound, eventually secured by Turner. Shot clock resets to 20. Eight to shoot. Turner makes his move and is blocked by Wagner. 5 to shoot. Garcia will check out. He's been out there a lot, though. Cassio Jensen will check back in. Jaden with 4 fouls and 5 to shoot for the Thunderbirds. Arrow under duress. Finds Turner, who misses the layup. Got the follow through.
His own one back. Wow.
One perk when nobody's on you, you can get the rebound and put it back in. He had the rim all to himself. Watley throws it away. Jackson, this could be the dagger play possibly for Bellevue West. They'll take their time here.
As much as you can play has hesitation with the shot clock.
Everyone counting down. The fans, now the players. Contact, arrow, but 3. And the clock will expire.
But it came off of Wagner. Sorry.
It came off of Wagner,
Yeah,
but
came off of Wagner.
you'll have 1 second at most. But I liked how everyone on the Bellevue West side chimed in with the countdown.
Absolutely.
And again, I think for teams in Minnesota, that's going to be paramount. So they will put 1 second back on the shot clock. You have time for a catch and shoot or a tip, and that's about it. You can't dribble. Johnson got the block. And we play on, no violation. He had possession. Couple of big blocks for Totino-Grace, but they need points on this possession. Ijadimbola got tripped up. Johnson recovers. Wagner, this would be huge. 3 a bit short. It will be Bellevue West ball. Jodi, the 3-point shots just not falling for Totino-Grace like they have for Bellevue West.
Good look for Wagner. That's as good a look as he's had all afternoon, but he just couldn't drain it.
And just like the girls' game, again, not a whole lot at stake. This isn't going to knock off. That's Jaden Cascio-Jensen who got hurt. It's not going to diminish the standing of the loser. This is just one of those great tune-up games. You play the best to find out who you are and where you need to be to get yourself in position to return to the promised land like Totino-Grace has the last 2 years.
And maybe the start of an annual rivalry, right? Totino goes to Nebraska next year.
Hey, I wouldn't mind making a trip down to Bellevue, down in Omaha, that area. Here's a 3. That could have sealed it. Air up again. Now it's Garcia.
Offensive rebounds for Bellevue West.
They have crashed the boards all game long. And Garcia's got 24.
That's going to be the statistics of the game, I think, Mike.
The 3-pointers and the rebounding.
rebounds.
Wagner on the take. But Totino-Grace has a lot of work to do and not much time to do it. 2:04 to go. 82-71. What a half for Robby Garcia. 19 second half points, 24 overall.
And you had the feeling that that Bellevue was just waiting for a new breakthrough, and so far Totino-Grace has not had the answer.
Instead, Bellevue West has been grooving all game long. Feeling that earth, wind, and fire with 2:04 to go. And it's not just Garcia, it's Jaden Jackson and Eldon Turner making it feel like September in here.
Your lines are so good right now, I don't even have a comeback.
You don't have a What have I done? You don't even have a comeback for me anymore. John is wondering, why did I put up with this? Why do I sign up for this punishment?
You got rhythm, Mike. That's all I'm going to say. You got rhythm.
Who can ask for anything more? Oh my God. Someone stop me, please. Where are we? 82-71.
That's where we are. We're at 82-71.
71. Wagner, by the way, has 19 points to lead Totino-Grace. Isaiah Johnson with 14. Ijadimbola and Watley, 13 and 12. Again, this is one of those what ifs. You want to get the win, of course, but you're going to pick up a lot that you might not otherwise see against some of the in-state teams. Basketball brings a lot of people together. It could bring Bellevue West one step closer to victory. They had their home game win streak snapped, but they could pick up a big road win here against the two-time defending state champions in Class 3A. But they're facing a little bit of trouble right now. 9 to shoot.
Smart play by Jaden Jackson.
They're working the clock. 9 seconds. We'll see if everyone joins in on the countdown again. Yep. It's Turner with the pull-up. Short. Rebound to Jackson. It's poked out. Totino-Grace can't get there.
In fact, I think it's Totino-Grace looking a little bit tired right now.
You look at the work on the boards. Bellevue West coughed it up. They got to score quick. Chapman passed up a three. Ijadimbola misfires. Wagner throws it up. And I think that'll do it. You noted how Totino-Grace had the taller lineup, but Bellevue West just a little bit scrappier today.
Good block for Totino.
Chapman scores. Now, again, a lot has to happen here, but that is what you want to avoid if you're Bellevue,
Right.
because now Totino-Grace can get a three-point play with the clock stopped. They still have a foul to give. Arup will go back in for Cascio Jensen.
And for a 5.5-hour commute, the fan section for Bellevue West is rather large.
It's a day drive.
Yeah.
It's not like coming from New Orleans or Los Angeles.
Right.
Totino-Grace has to play Fallon Chace here. And Jaden Jackson will go to the line. He's got 20 points. I think we saw a lot of examples of fine athleticism, clutch playmaking, especially in the part of Bellevue West. But Totino-Grace, again, don't count them out. They were oh so close to knocking off Wayzata last weekend, and you know they will be ready. They will be prepped come section time.
This could be a springboard for Totino for the rest of the season to see where maybe some weaknesses are, or to make sure that they finish a game that they start well.
Bellevue West will take a timeout. And there are a few ties from Minnesota here. Eldon Turner, some of his extended family living here in Minnesota, so checking out the game. As they put it, it's a lot easier to catch up on family when you don't have to make a 5.5-hour commute. Oh, is that Pinball Wizard? We've been mentioning pinballs all throughout the game. I was wondering. Totino-Grace, your game ops staff, do not disappoint. I might have to come back here more often. 47.3 seconds left, 84-74. Again, a lot would have to happen for Totino-Grace to snatch the victory away from Bellevue West, but
it could happen. It could happen.
I've seen some crazy.
Yes.
I've seen some crazy. Now, remember, the clock does not stop on a made basket at this level, so keep that in mind. But, again, the rebounding. I can't keep track of offensive rebounds. I'm not that smart, but I think Bellevue West really pushed the issue there, more so than the threes.
Right, and not just one, but 2 and 3 rebounds on the offensive side.
Shot clock is off. Bellevue West can back off and coast their way to victory. Not quite. And somebody a little frustrated.
Well, I appreciate that in a coach, right? Because you should, even if the game is well in hand, you should still be fundamentally sound and finish the thing.
Start strong, finish strong.
Yep.
You never know when you'll need that strong finish later.
Yep.
Microcosm of the day for Totino-Grace, just not enough three-pointers going in. So it will be the second loss for Totino-Grace, but it will be one that instills a lot of lessons, a lot of takeaways. They have a tough schedule coming up. You know it's going to prepare them in a class that for years was dominated by De La Salle. You probably heard about their 6 straight, 7 out of 8. It seemed like they would never relinquish the throne. Totino-Grace is hoping to.
You get the feeling that Arup doesn't see the free throw line that much.
Not as much, but there's still plenty of time to work on his form. Inconsequential as far as the outcome, as another three rims out. Arup gets the rebound, and it's a final. Bellevue West defeats Totino-Grace 84-74. What a fun game, and what a display of persistence, relentlessness on the part of Bellevue West.
Well, as you said, Mike, the first half was back and forth, and in the second half between Garcia and Arup, they just took the game away from Totino-Grace.
They did, and they pick up a huge win as a result. We'll try to get a word with some of the Bellevue West players before we wrap up this doubleheader. This is high school boys basketball. The Thunderbirds beat the Eagles 84-74. Joining me are Robby Garcia and Jaden Jackson of the Bellevue West Thunderbirds. Although the way you two played, I think we could call you fabulous Thunderbirds today. Robby, 19 second half points. After a quiet first half, how did you find that spark plug to ignite that second half rally?
Just coming out, we had to lock it in defensively, and our whole offense really just comes from our defense. So we just really came out in the second half. We knew that we're going to have to go on a run early to be able to pull this game out like this. But that's really all it was, just that defensive energy translating into offense.
What does it mean to come in here and get a win against a team that has set the standard in Class 3A, 2 straight state titles, and you're able to slowly eke out a win in this one?
It's a big win for us. This is especially a really good team. Like you said, state champions back-to-back. They have really high-level players on their team, but we knew we were going to have to come in here really just locked in to be able to pull this one out. But for us especially, it's just a huge win because we needed something like this. After losing one of our last games really close, coming into that we were undefeated 31-0, but when we had that loss, that really just kind of showed us, that we're not unbeatable like we were last year. But this is just a really good win for us.
Big win, and Jaden, a big reason for that as well. You had, we're going to do a little switch here. 22 points by my count, and just about everyone stepped up. I noticed if it wasn't the three-pointers, it was the offensive rebounds. How do you think all those tools came together today?
I was just locked in on details and figured they like to stare a lot and not box out. We just crashed the boards, got offensive rebound and kick it out, and find out shooters, and shooters was hitting shots.
And it wasn't just a matter of getting one rebound. There were some possessions where you got 2 or 3 or 4, stayed with it to come out of possessions with points. What do you credit to that relentlessness, the determination of Bellevue West?
Just our big physicality, playing fast, and just crashing boards, getting the offensive rebounds.
Now, you mentioned having a long win streak that was recently snapped. Given your history and given the program's history, where do you go from here as you go back to Nebraska? I know you've got some more out-of-state opponents on the schedule, but what does the road ahead look like for the two of you?
Pretty tough. We just got to lock in on ourselves, focus on ourselves, be healthy if we're injured, and just locking on details as a full team.
Robby, what would you have to add to that?
Like you just said, we got to lock in, especially on the defensive side of things, and our offense will come from that no matter who we're playing.
And do the two of you have any college plans in mind? You still sorting that out? What does the future look like for the two of you?
Well, I'm going to South Dakota State next year.
Okay, Jackrabbit.
Yep.
I'm going to go wherever I can eventually to be able to play basketball.
Well, if there's a spot available at South Dakota State, I'm sure Jaden wouldn't mind having you alongside Robby.
Maybe. I mean, that would be nice, yeah.
Well, Jaden, what excites you about that, going to South Dakota State? It's in the Summit League. We've seen some pretty tough teams in there. St. Thomas gave Marquette a run, so you know that it's going to be a conference that has some high-level talent. What are you looking forward to most about that journey?
I was going up there having fun with a good group of guys, and it's close to home, so maybe why I chose it. And they also have more interest in me.
That's right. So your family won't have to travel too far. I think Brookings is where they're located.
Yeah, Brookings.
Brookings, the home of Daktronics and all those scoreboards. So you should have no trouble with that. Before we go, you two want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom.
Say hi to my mom, Sarah.
Well, hi, Mom, and hi to everyone who made the trek or is watching this. Congrats on the win, and we'll see what it does for you in Class A over at Nebraska. But I'd say this win, coming off of that defeat you had recently, is a reminder that if you fall down, you can always get back up right away. You did that today.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Jaden Jackson and Robby Garcia of the Bellevue West Thunderbirds who get the 84-74 win. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you for watching.